I don't believe in homework.
Okay, so I got a bit of I'm holding my tablet. You might be wondering why that is. So, I don't know if you've heard of it, ChatGPT.
I have
You have?
heard of it. Yes,
Okay,
I have.
so I wanted to test it out because a lot of people have been using it for a lot of different applications. I thought, why don't we try asking it for parenting advice? I thought, what better topic than starting school? So this can be for the visual people at home and even the people listening on the podcast. So I thought I'd ask it a couple of things. The first one I wanted to know is, what are some tips for parents with a child starting school for the first time? That was a simple question that I asked. Just that. So I thought we'd run through some of them and just seeing and evaluating the tips.
Okay.
And seeing if we agree with them. Okay, so for this list, they came up with 7.
Okay.
First one was start preparing early. Talk to your child about what to expect at school and visit the school before the first day and establish a routine.
Yes.
Do you think it's a little bit too generic? Like,
No.
visit the school before the first day. Like, what if the school doesn't have the option to do that?
I just think that we all need to remember that they're 5 to 5.5 and memory retention isn't really there, or they don't really understand, like, by going and just walking around the school visiting it or something, they can't process that necessarily and retain it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that it's a bit like, yeah, but if you can't, that's fine too. I don't think it's crucial.
I think as well, it kind of mushed a few things here, like visit the school before the first day and then establish a routine. What routine? Like, when's that routine going to be established?
I guess that's what Kindy was doing with the bring a lunchbox,
yeah.
establish that routine. And when they do encourage you as a parent, you should really sign them up for 5 days a week at Kindy to prepare them for school. And, those kinds of things
a routine.
And then visiting would be like what our school did with Discovery Days and Orientation Day.
Well, that's a tick for ChatGPT.
I mean, we did do it, but
Yeah.
I personally don't think it's crucial.
Okay.
I think you'll be fine either way.
Number 2, encourage independence. Teach your child self-help skills like dressing, feeding, and using the restroom on their own. They should surely be doing that by 5 already, right? Maybe the dressing, like they can put their shirt on, but buttoning up shirts is probably a new one.
Yeah.
Because some schools have that.
Yeah. It's so hard because I think as well, like starting school and starting the routine then also makes sense to me. I don't think you have to start, like if they aren't dressing themselves for some reason, like if they, aren't interested in doing that and want your help every time, I don't think it's crucial that by the time school actually starts, they have to be doing that. I don't know. It just makes it sound like
this is definitive.
Yeah.
I mean, it is AI, so they've pretty much just pulled this list. They've scanned the internet and brought it together and then generated it based off what it's found. The next couple I'll just read through. Build a positive attitude towards school. Talk about the exciting things they will learn, the friends they will make, and the fun activities they will do. Yeah, fair enough. Number 4, develop a strong partnership with the school. Attend parent-teacher meetings, volunteer in the classroom, and communicate regularly with your child's teacher.
Before?
Well, I think that means, like, because it's starting school for the first time. So the question was a bit vague, I guess. Like, it's when you are starting school.
Right.
In that first few months to do that.
Okay.
Is that for the child, though? Or is that for the parent?
I have no idea.
Well, it does say tips for parents. So I guess it is meant to integrate the parent into the school. This next one, number 5, I'm sure you'll have some thoughts on this. Help your child with homework and assignments. Provide a quiet and well-lit space for them to work. Offer guidance and praise their efforts.
Ooh, okay.
I knew it.
Interesting. I don't believe in homework.
Whoa.
Unpopular opinion, probably.
Hot take.
But I really don't. I think that their minds need time to rest and relax. And I don't think bringing that home and making them do more work after they've just spent 5 to 6 hours doing work. I don't agree with it.
I will say that, yeah, I agree. I'm going to find it really difficult to tell our children to do their homework because I hate homework.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it. So I'm like, it's going to be really hard for me to sell that to them when I don't believe it.
Especially because we are very big into the notion of that school isn't your whole life. Like you should have friends, activities, things to do outside of school. It's not your entire identity. You shouldn't have everything wrapped up in the school world. We really think it's important to be well-rounded and to be able to have other things to focus on. And I just think, imagine he comes home with homework, but he's got football that day. Well, he's going to football. Do you know what I mean? I think he's had enough time at school. He needs the other thing that's going to help balance him out. No homework.
No homework. No homework household. Number 6 is about encouraging healthy habits, like getting enough sleep, eating nutritious diet, getting regular exercise. The diet one, I think, is probably something that gets undervalued a lot. Making sure they're eating the right foods. I notice a shift in Alberto's behavior when he's not eating the right foods. A bit too much high in sugar, a bit too much in fats. I notice his behavior change. He's a bit more unwieldy or uncontrollable.
When he eats chippies and lollies or something.
When it's just on that diet, like if we're going to birthday parties or
like
if we're away on
had
holiday,
a day of
you notice the difference. So that one, tick for ChatGPT. And the last one they gave was celebrating successes. So acknowledging accomplishments, big and small, and boosting their confidence and motivation. I really agree with that one. And I'll tell you why. Every time I used to bring home a grade, it wasn't like how good the grade was. It was, well, if you did extra work, you could have got a better grade. And I thought, well, can't we just appreciate the grade I got? Like how good I did no work and got this grade. Like what an amazing...
I didn't study or do homework or anything.
Like we should celebrate that I'm just a natural genius. Like what's wrong with that? So I think making sure that if they are doing and achieving in some level, that we celebrate and acknowledge that as an achievement, not make the bar even higher again.
Yeah, absolutely. And for us in our household, grades aren't...
Yeah.
I always like the idea of pass fail, but I don't think they do that in like primary school and high school. That's more of a university thing, right?
Well, university has different levels. The grades are just different. Like there's distinction, high distinction, pass, fail, and there's like credit. So there's a few different ones that you can go through. Passing is not always the best, but as they say, P's get degrees. So
okay.
Yeah, that was the saying. Now, look, that was the tips for starting school. I wanted to ask it another question because great thing with ChatGPT is it's contextual. So it can remember the last thing you asked and you can add into the conversation. So I said, what about advice for a child that doesn't want to go to school? And I think the reason why I did that, because Alberto has said a couple of times, I don't want to go to school today. Yeah. I was like, all right, what do you got for me? AI? What's the thing? So the first point it said here was listen to your child, talk to your child and understand why they don't want to go to school. Address any underlying issues such as bullying or academic struggles.
Well, yes, I think you should always listen to your child and communicate with your child. They do have feelings. They just don't always know the right words on how to express them. So, for example, when Alberto said he didn't want to go to school last week, I just asked how he was feeling. Like he has to go to school. We're not going to keep him home and extend that anxious feeling. It's like you got to just go move beyond it. But I asked him like, what is he feeling specifically? And then I would just run off a few ideas. I said, do you feel happy? And obviously no.
Yeah.
But then we got to a point where he could then go through the list of feelings that have already been shown and explained to him. And he came out with the feeling of shy and that he was struggling to make friends. And that's sort of how we got there to that position where he could actually start to express why he's feeling that way versus just me saying, well, you have to go, too bad, too sad, you know?
Yeah. There's a lot of similar stuff here, so I'm only going to read one more thing here. The other point to make is create a routine. Establish a regular routine for waking up, getting dressed, having breakfast, and to help your child feel prepared and organized for the day. We were doing that. I think that was the sticking point for him, is he hated the routine.
He just kept saying, I can't do everything by myself, or I don't feel like doing everything by myself, or something like that.
Yeah, or like he wanted to play before getting ready. I'm like, well, if you get ready, then you have more time to play. And then he would wallow around on the floor. So I don't necessarily know if that one works if someone doesn't want to go to school.
In the long run.
In the long run,
sure.
It might. Yeah, that's true.
Because then it's setting up an expectation. This is how the day's going to go.
Well, it signs off here with, remember, starting school is a big milestone for both you and your child, but with the right preparation and support, it can be a positive and exciting experience. Good luck and enjoy the journey. I'm like, how nice.
Wow, it sounds like a real person.
It is what ChatGPT effectively is, except it's not. So anyway, I thought that'd be a bit of fun. Let us know what you guys have any tips for with starting school.
Yeah, maybe let us know if you guys are going to be encouraging homework.
Yeah.
That was the biggest one that we're like,
If there's any teachers out there that love homework, happy to hit us up and convince us otherwise.
Yeah.
Because we'll be happy to have that conversation. But that's it for this week. Yeah.
Oh.
So thank you very much for tuning in. Remember to visit us on Instagram and YouTube.
And subscribe. It really does help us. And
that's right.
We appreciate it.
Yep. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.